party. I think it was a 2014 party, which is Meek's birthday party. Meek Mill 2014 party. Where, they're saying that the housekeeper or the person who was managing the house, the property, said that they found cocaine, bloody sheets, used condoms, and a bunch of stuff at a house that they rented for $25,000. It was at the Parisian Palace that they said Diddy rented to throw Meek his 27th birthday party. All right. Now, that kind of heightened the rumors of people saying, well, shit, maybe Meek Mill was up in there scrambling and scraping. Who knows? Maybe that's where the pool video happened, where the fries are on his lap, where he looks kind of burnt out and stressed out in the pool. And maybe that's where he was saying to Diddy, they was fucking the gun and they was talking the maybe that's where that happened. Maybe that's where, that video came from. Like, we don't know. So people started to talk after this came out. They said, whoa, this is even more proof. We don't know if you could say you're no Diddy gang after you allegedly was down or you were around clearly when some of these Diddy wild parties went down. Meek Mill took to the offensive and he needed to speak out against the fuckery. First thing Meek Mill said, he said, none of these publications are black owned. No, none of these publications are owned by black men. Posting things to destroy the names and brand of the culture. I'm going to stand on this. I know it's somebody behind this. I'm going to start a war behind it too when I find out. He later then said, just think about it. You're waking up to a bunch of non-black-owned publication posting major lies about me. Where all the PR people? Where all the PR people go that was around me? Wait, is that like a rhetorical question? Where all the PR people go that was around me? Everybody see what's going on. I'm not going to be quiet. It was war on black men. When I see Page 6 post something, it gives me a bad vibe.
Meek Mill is no stranger to controversy, but this time the stakes seem higher than ever. With Sean Diddy Combs facing serious allegations and an explosive audio recording surfacing online, Meek has found himself at the center of a storm he claims is nothing but a fabricated smear campaign. Let's dive deep into this drama and break it all down.
Go back 2 years ago. They only posted good Meek Mill news. I know how these things work. Like what just happened with Mike Tyson. Show his ass out. Get him beat by a young white kid. Come on. It's a mockery, I'm telling you. Then he continued. Why nobody looking at the fact? Wait, hold on. Let me pause. Why nobody looking at the fact of who we consuming this news from? I went to Chat GPT. Yo, Meek is hilarious. Meek's answer to all of this bullshit is going to Chat GPT. He says, I went to Chat GPT. You know what's so crazy? He's complaining that the outlets that's reporting the shit about him are white owned. Who the hell you think made Chat GPT? A black man? So it's like saying, yo, I'm still going to the white owned outlets to give me information about the other white outlets that's talking shit about me, but I'm just going to blame it on a white what? He says, I went to Chat GPT. None of these people are even Americans and close to the black party. These weak ass stories, this wasn't even Puff Party. It's nothing to be quiet about if you're smart. So he goes on to show this is about the party in question. And you know what's so funny? Meek just goes to Google and typed in Meek Mill birthday party 2014. At least we get to see how Meek Mill tweets and Googles. Okay. All right. And then this is him at Chat GPT. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I'm almost like impressed. Like, I'm wondering how Meek could sound this stupid when he's using Chat GPT and all these other things that are probably saying, hey, listen, let us think for you because you're too stupid. Anyway, Chat GPT tells him Page 6 is owned by this. Here we go. Look how Meek like, who owns Daily Mail? Yo, you know what's so crazy? Meek Mill using Chat GPT like he's solving a Rubik's Cube. Like he's like solving cancer. Like he's finding a cure. Like he's doing some who owns
First,
Daily Mail.
let's set the stage. Diddy's arrest on September 16th rocked the music world, and as often happens in these situations, past controversies began bubbling back to the surface. Among them was a lawsuit filed earlier this year by an individual named Lil Rod, accusing Diddy of sexual misconduct. What's surprising, and for many infuriating, is that an explicit...
With his Fed case, he was already getting sued by a lot of people. A dude named Lil Rod hit Diddy with a lawsuit and said he saw all kinds of crazy things while he was working for Diddy. Lil Rod's lawsuit brought up a lot of wild situations Diddy was in, but one of the craziest things was Lil Rod talking about Diddy allegedly hooking up Meek Mill and Usher. Meek Mill and Usher's names weren't in the paperwork because they were redacted, but everyone was able to figure out who Lil Rod was talking about from the jump. In the paperwork, Lil Rod said that Diddy was hooking up with a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj and an R&B singer who performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency.
Look, Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones that he had engaged in sexual intercourse with rapper. 5, that's redacted. Look, 5, he's a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. R&B singer, 6, redacted. Look, he performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency.
Meek Mill is the only Philly rapper who has a history with Nicki Minaj, so fans immediately knew that he was the one who allegedly hooked up with Diddy. DJ Academics read the paperwork on his live stream, and that's when Meek Mill started ranting about the situation on Twitter. Meek Mill clapped back at Academics and said that he can't wait to see him in person. Meek also tweeted that he would never do coke or freaky-ass Molly, and that if someone approached him about gay activity, then the whole place would get flipped. People were already clowning Meek for the paperwork, but then he made the situation even worse for himself when he started making weird tweets about how much he likes hooking up with women. Meek blamed all the gay rumors on the media for trying to tear down black artists. Meek said that anytime a rapper was making hundreds of millions from their music, they either called him gay or a snitch. He also blamed the blog sites for paying to boost the post for the Lil Rod story because they wanted to discredit Meek for being a strong leader. Meek kept sending shots at Academics too and called him an alcoholic with no life who talks to kids on the computer. This wasn't the first time that Academics and Meek had problems though. Back in 2017, Meek got pressed with Academics because Academics didn't post about his new album. Academics was a host on the Everyday Struggle podcast back then, and he said that Meek's crew was sending him threats about how he was posting about them.
6 months ago, Meek had sent me a DM, him and the rest of the chasers. They gave me a little digital jumping. I like one. They said, listen, either post us this way or don't post us at all, right? Next thing I'm seeing, they were like threatening me. When I see him, I'm gonna give him a wedgie, I'm gonna slap him. I'm like, oh shit, I think I'm posting him wrong, so I stopped posting him.
Then in 2020, Meek Mill said that Academics is canceled because he makes money off of beef that gets people killed and never gives back to the culture. Academics clowned Meek for talking tough on Twitter, so Meek responded and said he was putting a green light on Academics. Academics clapped back and said that he's not gonna let Meek bully him and send death threats, so he sent the green light message to the cops.
I'm just trying to tell you that, bro, like, I'm just not into being bullied. So if you got like some tough nigga shit that you have to do, keep it that way. Just stop snitching on yourself. Stop telling the world you're greenlighting.
The recording, which many speculate to be AI generated or heavily manipulated, Meek is allegedly implicated in what he describes as freaky and completely out of character behavior. Social media was quick to pounce, with users flooding Meek's notifications with accusations, mockery, and questions. One user's comment stood out. "So you real quiet now? Was that really you getting your cheeks clapped by that man in the audio? You are a victim, Asteros." Grim Riza.
People and just do what you have to do. Because right now, like, when you say green lighting, I send that to the police. I'm gonna be honest with you.
The beef cooled off after 21 Savage stepped in and helped him squash it. But Meek went right back to sending death threats after Academics started talking about the Lil Rod paperwork. Meek also claimed that the whole thing was a conspiracy theory in the rap game to try and hold him down. Academics sent another shot and said nobody in the industry cares about Meek Mill's career because he already fell off. And after Meek's new EP came out, Academics clowned him for barely running up 100 album streams on Spotify. Meek was getting so heated about Academics, he started talking about pulling up to Academics' crib and said he would die to shut Academics down. Academics sent more shots back about Meek being a slave to billionaires like Michael Rubin and Robert Kraft. Then Meek cooled off and said that the governor of Philly called him about the situation. Meek has done a lot of work for prison reform after he got caught up in the case back in the day. People respect what Meek's been doing with that, but Meek still gets clowned for talking tough on Twitter and working with the government at the same time. After the Lil Rob paperwork came out, old videos of Meek started going viral. Meek is known for kicking it with a billionaire named Michael Rubin, and one time, Rubin recorded Meek doing bunny hops on his tennis court. Everyone thought Meek bouncing around like that for a billionaire was weird. Meek tried to say that it was a game he started in prison because it was too hostile for money, but nobody was really buying it. Michael Rubin is famous for hosting a white party every year with a bunch of rappers and other celebrities and business people. And in 2023, people started clowning Lil Baby and calling him gay after a photo from the white party started going viral where Baby was hugging Michael Rubin and another dude. Diddy wasn't even wrapped up in his case yet, but 50 Cent was already trolling him over the rumors about Diddy hooking up with dudes. 50 posted the photo of Lil Baby at the white party and said, "See, this is why I don't go to no party Puffy and them at. The fuck is going on here?" After the video of Meek doing bunny hops for Michael Rubin went viral, Rubin did an interview and said that Meek doesn't have a gay bone in his body and that the bunny hops were Meek's idea.
Meek, I know that guy really, really well, okay? Everyone going around trying to say, and by the way, if he was gay, who cares? There's not a gay bone in his body. You guys know him. Like, I know him. I've been around him more than anybody. Talk about the bunny hops. Meek says to me at the beginning of the game, he says, "What do you want to bet?" I'm like, "What do you want to bet?" Like, I'm not generally I don't want to ever take money from my friends or like bet money, but if they want to, he's like, "Let's do push-ups." I'm like, "Great, 50 push-ups, great." He's actually, "Let's do bunny hops."
A lot of people were calling Meek gay, and a comedian named Andrew Schultz even clowned Meek over the situation during a show in Philly. Meek said it was the first time he actually laughed at someone making gay jokes about him, but added that if Schultz said that to his face, he might swing on him. It also doesn't help that Meek has a history of saying weird stuff on social media and getting clowned for it. Like in 2019, Meek randomly tweeted, "This D good as hell." Meek claims he was watching the NBA game and commented on the 76ers defense, but fans obviously took it another way, and the tweet resurfaced once the Diddy allegation
Meek took to express his outrage and disbelief at the situation. Sharing a screen recording of his bombarded notifications, he accused bots and orchestrated campaigns of being behind the sudden onslaught. According to him, this wasn't just random hate, it was a targeted effort to silence and discredit him. "They manipulated these devices so bad," he wrote, adding, "I'm not with, who is them?" Meek didn't explicitly name names, but his tone suggested a belief that powerful forces were working against him, possibly due to his influence and success. He further stated, "Unlike me, without a full school education, I gained world influence and a different education. My voice so powerful as a black..."
So let me ask y'all a question right now. If Bow Wow came into this room without anybody knowing anything he did, and a group of females came into this room, who gonna get the females first, y'all or him?
Definitely better.
Nigga, us.
If they don't know,
Yeah, he said they don't know who
they
Bow Wow
don't know
is.
who he is.
He's just Shad Moss from
Shad
up the
Moss.
road.
Oh.
Yeah, nah, we getting
Who's
that
gonna
action.
get the females first?
Yeah, because Bow Wow did walk in this room, but he was Bow Wow. But no, Bow Wow is he have to like bat his eyes or something.
We don't bow ass.
Yeah, nah. No shade to Shad. No shade to Shad.
There's no shade.
No shade to Shad, but nigga.
Right. So if you can be a person who can show up you can show up to a place, and everybody here is paid to come in here and do what they do, of course you're gonna miss that.
Yeah, man.
You go into a party and everybody is sex workers.
Nah, man. Pick
You can
one.
pull anybody you want, male or female, to the bathroom and get a blowjob.
Yeah.
You're gonna miss that.
Yeah, goddamn. All right, well, it's a drought then. It's a drought.
And that drought make people crash out. So
It's a drought. What can you give me one celebrity you were surprised to see at a party in a way that you were surprised to see him, male or female? Like you might have had an idea about him, then you see him like there ain't no way that this person's doing this with that or doing this like that or whatever.
No.
Okay, yeah, he said, goddamn, I can't do that.
No. Like after my first like year of like being like working with like celebrities, I figured out what it was. I said, oh, so they all like this.
Alcohol.
Huh?
Does it always start with alcohol whenever?
No, a lot of them don't even drink.
Oh.
It's just them.
Just come in like,
Bro,
I'm great.
so you got different levels of, but you got horny man, and then you got real horny man. You feel me?
So, what's the craziest thing you've seen?
I saw the animals. Well, animals were wrong.
Like the craziest thing that she was like, oh, nah, bro, I ain't, nah, bro, it's
I
can't.
walked in on a guy.
He's long been vocal about his rise from humble beginnings and the challenges he's faced as a black man in America. His claim that they want it gone reflects his belief that his success and the influence he's amassed threaten those in power.
Okay, so let's talk about Michael. Since we have you here, I want to hear about this person you call your friend. You said you knew him better than anyone towards the end of his life, than anyone, correct?
Yes.
Did he share secrets with you?
Of course. The most hidden treasure trove of his life is with me. But I have protected Michael up till now.
Up till now?
Of course. Of course. I've said nothing that has been inflammatory about my friend. I protected Michael. You see, when I had a meeting at the house with AG officials, and they pointed to Michael, the guy who could not pay me for months after taking care of him. And they said that he could not pay for the popsicle his daughters were using, the toilet paper that they were using to wipe their private areas, that he was penniless. I was shocked. As it was that time when Michael came to me trembling and trying to get me away from the AG official, who was Randy Phillips. I was shocked out of state. I should have just picked my bags up and leave had I been looking for money. But it wasn't money. It was about the love of Michael. I have suffered a lot. There's no doubt about it. But I don't hate Michael. Michael did not do me wrong. He did not want this to happen to me. Whatever happened to Michael when I was not there, it's probably his own misjudgment. And I believe that clearly happened because he was illogical, he was irrational, and he was in a withdrawal state from Demerol, which Dr. Arnold Klein was feeding him.
You said that he gave himself the drugs. You believe he gave himself the final fatal dose?
The premises cannot be breached. It wasn't breached. There was no one else in the house, in the upper chambers, but Michael and myself. I was away from him. The phone records show us that.
But again, I ask, shouldn't you have been with him?
No, because, and that's a good question, because I gave Michael Jackson 25 milligrams of propofol over 3 to 5 minutes. All of the doctors, 7 doctors in the trial showed that there could be no propofol effect after 10, maximum 15 minutes by Dr. Rogers, which is what I told the police. If I give Michael Jackson between 1040 and 1050, 25 milligrams of propofol, the effect of the drug would be gone by 11. Okay. And if I monitored him beyond 1120,
you believe, according to medical standards, that you were reasonable
absolutely.
With that. So you said you haven't shared any secrets of Michael's until now. Do you plan to? Is there something you want to tell us?
I would not share with you any hidden secrets of Michael. Not at this time. We don't have that in summary.
But how long are you going to be silent?
How long am I going to be silent? As long as I wish.
If you think this is the first time such tactics have been used, think again. Meek's reference to smear campaigns targeting successful black men isn't far-fetched. The hip-hop industry has a long history of controversies, often fueled by rumors, accusations, and calculated media attacks. Whether it's claims of snitching, allegations of criminal behavior, or questions about someone's sexuality, these narratives often follow black.
So we had took action into our own hands. I kind of regret doing this, but then I don't, because like that little lady thanks me every day. You know what I'm saying? Her daughter, I became like a mentor to her. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it was just a bad circumstance, which just led to there's more darkness, you feel me? Because like, I didn't know that like they could come up with that much money to put it on me. I didn't know that. So after we found out what was going on, like people came through spinning, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like really trying to get up with me and like Shout out to the Ghoulers. Shout out to the Ghoul gang. Oh no, shout out to them Insanes. So, yeah, but the guys rallied behind me, bro, and like, we defeated them. Oh, bro, we had some bloody days, though. You know what I'm saying? But we ended up coming out on top. They was bogus, though. And Fred, you a hoe. Oh no.
Yeah, Fred.
Yeah.
When you have a price on your head, how do you operate in that space? Like,
It's time to turn up. That's what we live for. Let's get it. You call a guy, let them know what's going on, and then now it's time to play ball. What's up? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, when if you really in the field, if you really get in that water, if you really get wet, bro, like.
Is that a Chicago thing?
Yeah, bro, I ain't gonna lie. My city, our head's fucked up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, because if I go to other cities and states, like,
niggas own that, but
they own that, but they don't identify with that.
Yeah,
you feel me? It's like, okay, we'll get on that with you,
right?
But we came to kick it,
right?
You feel me? We don't even really want you to know that we into this,
right?
Where we come from, oh yeah,
everybody on that.
Bro, it's the most. I'm getting chills.
Hard pressed to find someone not on that.
Bro, my city, bro. Think about this, bro.
Meek pointed this out himself, saying, "The two things they say, we snitching or we gay. We generating hundreds of millions for music. It's not a coincidence. We all gay and snitches." For Meek, this isn't just a personal attack. It's part of a broader pattern aimed at undermining Black success stories.